Satsuki looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is at 25%.
Back down, Yo on the Grey Man, give me the first ball. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthael up there. A triple.
Layla and Yu's in the back, catching 3 people on top of that, followed up by the APOC and the lurking on, catching 2, but this time on is going to be the first one.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead, catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop. Mosh pit goes out. Ruby's still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not going to matter.
Here comes the Boros on the backside. The Visual gets thundered and then stunned. Oh my goodness! The combo!
Getting shrunk down, ETC getting killed. He becomes dog food for the Grey Man.
I didn't think they had a chance. I thought it was all over. We said all or nothing, and they got absolutely everything.
Howdy, welcome to Season 12 of NGS tonight. Prostman Pat, El Taquito, also known as Taco, bringing you the ReGen Civil War of ReGen Phoenix versus ReGen Ghost. So excited for this matchup, and up until less than 2 hours ago, I didn't have power, and I didn't think we were going to be able to cast. Big shout out to Bonkai, who was originally going to cast. He and I were going to do this. He has things going on tonight. He might join us a little bit later, though, depending on timing. Hearts and prayers and everything out to Bonkai. Definitely be thinking of him. As soon as I get a lighter, we'll roll into the candle of the stream. Probably the next game. Or between the next 2 games, or this, whatever, you know what I mean. Both teams are probably on the way here, and I need to go grab that lighter. Pat, how are you, my man?
I'm good. How are you, buddy? This is an exciting time. We've been looking forward to this since the beginning of the season, right?
Oh, since forever. Since these two were placed in the same division. Yeah, that's
yes,
like the
since
beginning
these
of the
two Titans ate their own parent, took over Mount Olympus. We've been waiting for this fight to happen.
that sounds completely that sounds completely accurate. 1 second, let me grab that lighter, and I think some people are bio, and then we'll get going.
Don't have a lighter. Don't have barbecue lighter somewhere. I don't know.
Pat, you said that you found some interesting trivia about these teams.
Yeah, so we were looking over beforehand, and according to the NGS site, these teams are tied. 2 dominations, 7 wins, 5 losses. But that's partially true, but if you want to get really technical, team ReGen Ghost, Mongose's team, did do technically a little bit better against a team that withdrew. So if you look at it, which team is playing a more dominating season thus far, it technically goes to Ghost. So Phoenix might be one to be afraid. But that being said, between the two of them, they made a team withdraw season. So they're both pretty scary.
And you would expect these teams to be evenly matched towards the top of their division, as they are both ReGen teams in that ReGen squad. There was one other thing before we told them we were. Oh yes, I did. I went ahead and found it, and hopefully Aura and Miss Windup Bird have made it, because I started this tradition because of them and my wife. Tonight's candle. Here's the color. Here's the hue. Let's get it lit. You're running out of time to guess the scent, and I don't know that this actually tells me anything, but in 3, 2, 1, the scent of tonight is Midnight Forest. That is the candle of the stream.
See, I was hoping for something a bit more musky.
Midnight Forest is pretty musky. That's like
that's
like a
but
manly
I was thinking
scent.
more. I was thinking more like a
Rainbow
like a
Unicorn?
Tomb of a Spider Queen spell. Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
Speaking of Tomb of the Spiders, Tomb of the Spider Queen. Speaking of segues,
yeah.
we've got
Here I am writing.
right. ReGen
That's
Phoenix won the toss and opted for first pick. Bans came out from ReGen Ghost as Braxis holdout in Battlefield of Eternity. ReGen Phoenix banning Dragonshire and Infernal Shrines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was bad, Pat.
Yeah, I imagine both these teams must.
That was bad. At least you capitalized the G.
Oh.
Arrow gets so mad at me when I don't capitalize the G. Or the R and the G. Sometimes I don't capitalize
the screen
anything.
Can't see my bad jokes. I type
know,
my
right?
bad jokes if I can. Yeah, I get away with that.
But we are super excited, and we're making sure to get at least a little bit of memery in for everybody tonight on this epic stream of epic proportions. At least it's the match of epic proportions. I don't know about the stream.
Correct me if I'm wrong. It was Ghost that moved up this season.
I will correct you since you're
Phoenix?
wrong. Phoenix moved down from Div A.
Oh, okay. That was it. Okay. That's how they... Yes, I knew that Phoenix was higher. I just couldn't remember which division they...
It's alright. Oh, Hector has made it. Should reach out to my fiance. She made a suit of candle scents to represent the NGS board members. So, probably a suite of candle scents to represent the NGS board members about 6 months ago, so if you have cycled since then. Is he still outside?
And I believe that
Did you let him in?
Weenus's,
Did he still outside?
Weenus's rubber chickens can be used as candle holders and candle snuffers in the same go.
Oh, I bet. The Weenus
Yeah.
candle smells like Fireball whiskey. Oh, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, after a couple of shots of Fireball whiskey, you sound like a rubber chicken.
Yeah.
Screaming.
And I do like all teams, or all Paradise Pants tonight are running the ReGen Globe portrait. We'll go ahead and give you a look at that screen here for a second. Most of chat being blocked out. But yes, all 10 players running the ReGen Globe in ReGen theme. I know Ghost usually runs the Draken portrait. I don't know what Phoenix usually runs, but good to see the ReGen fam coming together. Let's get back over to the map screen while we're waiting to go into this lobby. ReGen Ghost, not oddly, maybe oddly enough, I don't know, was the first team that I played on, or that I was rostered on. Arrow, very helpful when I started casting, and then of course everybody else in the casting community. But some cool ties to both teams, and I am super excited. We are in the draft now, so let's roll over there. Dairy Doodle, here, come eat on camera. You come eat on camera. Yeah.
Very quick Imperious ban.
Yeah, that's
even with a quick glance into their NGS profile, Ghost does like Imperious, so it makes sense. I don't know how critical it was for Tomb, but it makes sense.
I'll be honest, that kind of surprises me based on just what I know about the teams, and just in the offlaning player roster for Ghost. So that's interesting. Although I think I've heard things about Stabby Boy, but I don't know. I would gladly be wrong here. I love being wrong when it comes to what players play and what we're gonna see, because it just makes things so much more exciting.
Yeah, and then Leoric, get rid of any kind of bath washing. We don't want that, I guess, in this one. And a Blaze ban.
Kerrigan and Blaze bans. Blaze has been really strong, especially if you're watching the Storm Div meta, which I should probably start casting again. I've been on a casting hiatus. And the Naz with the first pick. Oh my goodness, I have to DM someone about that real quick.
Is it a I told you so like message? Yeah.
No.
Because you beat Zebo up. Oh.
No, nothing like that. Just someone that I know is a big. Why Why is my phone's not working? I don't know how to fix this. But ETC and Sylvanas coming in for the first 2 picks for ReGen Ghost. But Nazeebo being left open is maybe an oversight here, especially with the quick rotations on this map. Allows for. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's a classic Nazeebo map too.
Oh,
interesting. They still grab the Dahaka.
4-man Zeebs or Tank Haka.
Yeah.
The tank.
That's where my mind went. So they could have a swap at the end of the draft.
Oh no, Varian!
I've got you, father.
Varian not making it through the draft. Could be susceptible to taunts. So that looks like Ghost is going to look for something that might be a little bit more exposed to that instant blow up. I'm not sure Naz Dahaka is. Dahaka's could follow up for a variant, but so is Stukov. But Naz's damage is a little bit more spread out. So that's interesting to me. But a Sonya ban makes perfect sense, choking out the off lane.
I was thinking maybe of like a Garrosh into this. It's not as strong as the variant, but throw someone into a zombie wall, silence them all to heck. Pretty.
Yeah. I could definitely dig a Garrosh. Double tank coming out of Ghost. That's good setup for the Orphea without using a Maiev here.
Yep. Yeah, just with the condemn, right? Condemn and ETC slide.
Shield, condemn, mosh. Yeah. Shield, condemn, mosh.
Yeah. And Sylvanas taunt just to be sure. There's a tank. Going with the classic 1 tank. In a gray main.
That's kind of a beefy team though. Pat Meow wants to know where the fan cam is.
The fan cam is behind the cam.
Oh, yeah. I think you have to pay for his OnlyFans.
It's actually a reasonable temperature, so I don't have the fan on anymore.
Do you only put the fan on your OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta pay extra. Yeah.
I like rounding this out with the Deckard. Some more lockdown, big lockdown coming out of Ghost. The gray main can be fairly easy to choke down, lockdown once he goes in for the fight, but you got to do it pretty quick on the follow-up. I think the Diablo Greyman is going to be really strong. I think Naz is going to be slow damage here, but he's still really effective. I'm excited to see what Phoenix does with this comp. This looks like this is a pretty spicy double tank comp though, coming out of ReGen Ghost.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, do you think it's for sure a mosh pit, or do you think maybe this is a stage?
this map is so small. I think you see a mosh pit here.
Okay.
But
I'm just trying to think of like double tank. Yeah.
Yeah, that being said, I think we might see a little bit of struggle for clear in the early game for ReGen Ghost, but maybe not. I think Orphea doesn't really get all of those advantages early on. Sylvanas needs that level 4 to really pop a wave, so we'll see. Andrew with the good fun have luck, as classic Andrew does. Level 1 talents are on the stream. Or are on the screen, rather, and for ReGen Phoenix, Repsychic on the Stukov, Darabo on Nazeebo, Phantoms, Diablo, Rabid Penguin bringing it in on Jermaine, and Arrow, the team captain, off-laning with Dahaka. That is ReGen Phoenix.
Over on ReGen Ghost, we have Mongoose on ETP, Jub on the Deckard, Giggle Smack on Orphea, Andrew on the Sylvanas, and Aaron on the Johanna. ReGen Ghost.
Did you know that Giggle and Mongoose are ready?
Oh. You can all imagine what that Civil War would be like next.
Oh.
No, I did not realize that was his Halman though.
Yeah, they're good people though. Oh, a great stun early out onto Andrew as he pushes out that haunting wave. He gets stunned into the wall, not able to go to it, but Diablo ending up paying the price, is first blooded by the Mongoose. ETC saying, we'll meet you in the parking lot. I don't think I have that one on my soundboard yet.
Not yet.
And now I regret that.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I go look through all my files.
Yeah, but yeah, the punishment against Diablo was pretty severe. They had a really quick reaction to save Sylvanas. Good job.
Yeah, I don't have the parking lot.
Meanwhile, it's off lane Johanna and Dahaka. Try to say that 5 times real fast. Pretty fun.
Yeah, just I just can't wait for Decker to get a killing blow on Diablo. Let me just tell you, as someone that's heard my new soundboard, I'm super excited about my soundboard. A little bit of offlane action as I missed the kill of ETC onto Nazebo. I saw Sylvanas dash forward across the screen on the mini map, which I reinstalled that DLC for that reason. And we miss blood, second blood.
Deckard's too busy with this fight to pick his talent.
You know, Deckard's just running the Velaravia strats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange flex, but okay.
You know, I think Ruby'd be really good here. Going Sapphire and Ruby into perfect gens at 20 would be strong, but you lose a lot of the benefit of those improved ults.
I just imagine with the double front line like that they're just gonna be up there, right?
Right. But I feel like potion shields could be really good here too, especially into something like a Nazebo where the damage is spread out. You can get a lot of value on those shields. Also, Andrew playing this.
Both Greymane. Oh, I was gonna say both Greymane and Decker not taking their talents. I think they're waiting for the other one to show.
Maybe so. But yeah, Andrew playing the Sylvanas tonight. What used to be the healer for ReGen Ghost, who is now Jub. Puppy, I know that you're distraught about something stupid.
I don't know what meow means, but Pat's gotta pay the bills.
With your OnlyPants cooking show.
Yeah. Yeah, my OnlyPants cooking show.
Oh, here comes the 4-man onto Joanna. Joanna's gonna Iron Skin away though. It's so interesting seeing Aaron on Joanna, like the tankiest tank in the off lane. Going with that double shield glare too. Hi Puppy, could you stop scratching my arm? Turn-in's going in. Aaron looking a little low, gets flipped over. There's still no Iron Skin available. It's gonna punish. And the Roof's coming in. Look at the lockdown coming from this team. That's gonna be Diablo going down again to Haka with the follow, and the Ruby potions are out. We are seeing gems coming out of Deckard. Now the thing about taking a bunch of gem talents is you don't need perfect gems as much because you'll typically have a gem available, but it does drastically reduce your W cooldown, and you can use those gems over it, the same one over and over.
Right. Right.
ReGen Ghost does get that first turn in.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, we've been dominating this rotation mid-bot pretty well. So the turn-in was pretty easy for them after that double kill.
Oh yeah, definitely a good way to make some space.
But they basically so far they've been looking for Diablo to fix, because that's both big engagement and Diablo engaging and paying the price for it, sorry.
Yeah, to everybody watching, sorry about the giant Taka that just flashed on the screen. Normally you have to pay money for that. But a big push coming into the top. Oh man, I gotta see that happen in real time. This is gonna be.
That was really good play by the ETC. Dahaka had tongued the Orphea, and Mongoose slid and interrupted it just enough to save him. He gets the kill, but ETC does go down getting tower aggro. So does Sylvanas from the Dukov. We gotta watch out for those big slaps, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. A great defense coming out of ReGen Phoenix, going 2 for 1. They still lose that fort, which you'll typically expect to lose a fort on that first objective. But staying in, they're only down half a level. They've got plenty of game to play, and Nazebo just scales. Scales.
Yeah. Yeah. Soko 20.
Right, and he hasn't even finished spiders yet, so.
Yeah, not letting him have a free turn in time. Looks like we could have a big. Yeah. Okay, so ETC is about to ready to slide in, but he doesn't. He's not able to get the kill, but he was able to stop it. But Phoenix still has enough for a tournament, so they're gonna keep trying. We're gonna try to go into the top tournament while everybody else is showing bottom.
Yeah, big turn in for Nazio, getting all 27 in, 5 away in case you can't do the math at home, but I believe in you.
Caster math is the hardest math.
Oh, it is. It absolutely is.
Yeah, it's up there with Tower of Doom's math, but we don't talk about that.
You know what? I think I need a sub for our match this week.
Oh, Big Mosh gets the Nazebo. Sorry for interrupting you there. But,
Double ults used for the solo kill on Naz, but Naz isn't stacking. Naz isn't there to push, and I think this becomes an easy defend for ReGen Ghost.
Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna find less value out of this. Joe's probably gonna be able to clear out this bottom ever so slowly.
Big drag onto Sylvanas from Dahaka. There is a stay on listen finally picked up by the Deckard Kane, and that's going to be enough to get Andrew out of there. So now that all of them have been picked, a quick look at these heroics. We got Apocalypse, Curse Bullet, Haunting Spirit, Flailing Swipe, and Isolation for ReGen Phoenix on ReGen Ghost. Mosh Pit, Stay a While and Listen, Crushing Jaws, Wailing Arrow, and Blessed Shield for ReGen Ghost, who take out Nazebo yet again for a quick turnaround on kills for Nazebo. Poor Witch Doctor just wants to stack. He's trying to do the hoodoo. Zul'jin hasn't told him not to mess with the hoodoo.
To no Zebo.
Big slide! Oh wow! Mongoose coming in from the top rope, sliding through Stukov, and that just seals the fate. A big 2-2 for nothing on the turn-in from ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Phoenix not able to get any forts down in their objective phase, and looks like another turn-in for ReGen Ghost.
Yeah, they definitely have the turn-in, so there it is. Okay, so yeah, Joe finishes off the turn-in. And it looks like Mongoose is just doing his good job of anchoring there, waiting for someone to step up to clear this wave. You got Joe on the bottom and ETC on the top, ready for to maneuver or something.
Yeah, well, so you gotta remember, unlike me, Mongoose is a really good tank. He stays in bushes, he stays mounted, he's ready to punish bad positioning from the other team instead of letting the other team punish his position.
That's really interesting. Taking note. Taking note. So yeah, with the Sylvanas trait, they're able to quickly take down this mid fort.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And are they able to rotate down here? They might be able to rotate down. No, Arrow's fully aware. He knows that they're coming, so he's gonna have to back off. But can they defend this bottom at all? I don't know.
I don't think so, especially with Mongoose stepping out. He doesn't get damage on Dahaka, so he doesn't take aggro, but Dahaka does get that tongue out. There is the Mosh, but APOC doesn't hit anything. APOC and the triangle coming out at the same time, overlaid, nothing resulting in a kill, but Ghost is happy with that. They get the fort, and they're just going to retreat, putting on a little bit of extra damage onto Diablo. I do find it interesting that Sylvanas went stacking build here. I feel like with as small as the map is, it should be fairly easy to get those stacks, but you have to constantly be building up the stacking. You have to be building up those dings in order to really get value out of it over the spell power increase from the Q at level 1. But I think maybe that was an attempt by Andrew to continue scaling into the late game along with the Nazebo.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking after you brought that up, but try to play a longer game build.
Yeah, going with that cooldown reduction at 7 makes that a little bit easier and holds on to the escape from Haunting Wave, but Haunting Wave into W in a team fight really spreads out and makes you ding a lot faster. But you gotta be able to get those W's out to begin with, and it looks like Andrew's really having a struggle with it. ReGen
You
Ghost.
see just doing general scouting, trying to escort this bruiser campaign.
Yeah, well, Ghost is also, I
on
think,
by-
trying to get their deposit in while they can before Phoenix gets the turn in.
Yeah. Yeah,
There is
keep
the
on
Crushing
touching.
Jaws. It's going to be flailing swiped away. EDC not able to get in. Here comes Stay a While Listen, going to catch 2.5.
Wow.
There is a Condemn onto Diablo. Diablo at 60 health. Stukov and Diablo going to fall at the exact same time. Extra splash damage from the Sylvanas going to help out there. And that is going to be souls for Diablo. But Phoenix still has plenty of gems to turn in. Greymane picking up the majority there.
Is it, if it's stay a while with a mosh, is that what do we call that? Is that stay a while in glisten?
Stay a while in
I don't
rock.
know.
Stay a while in party.
Yeah. Yeah. No wallflowers here. Everyone has to participate.
There you go.
The caster Matt tells me that both teams have turning. So who can stall and who can maybe get the advantage? Looks like Greymane. Oh, the Sylvanas is able to delay the Greymane turn. So now Ghost gets yet another turn in. I think, is that 3 in a row now? Or
I think that's 2 in a row. They got the first one, and Phoenix got the second one.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, but that is 2 in a row. So that's pretty advantageous. Yeah, chasing down this team. Are they able to isolate? Because Arrow and the Dahaki is a little bit separated, but no, they're not able to catch up with them. A little race car build, maybe.
Yeah, oops, sorry, I lost track of Ghost there for a second, but we are back on track with that race car. Spell armor. I don't see him going full race car build. He's just making use of the
bushes.
Yeah, the bushes. Goose, thank you for coming in and helping me out with the bands. I got another Haas if you can find them. Not sure how many underscores that is.
Attention being given to the center. Meanwhile, there's a pretty big wave pushing up top. Arrow is clearing it out himself, so that does leave the opportunity for them to re-engage on the middle forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Dahaka getting that bit good clear. And Ghost, what I love about ReGen Ghost is, it's the ReGen team that I've seen play the most, right? So maybe a little bit more information there. But Ghost is really patient, especially after a couple seasons of some what we'll now call ReGen Rebel core calls. Ghost has gotten really patient about the map. They'll get what they know they can. They'll get a piece out of every bit of their advantage, but they won't overstay. Holy cow, the slide into 2.
Deleted.
Crushing Jaws Mosh synergy. Gotta love it. But 4 ults used there. The Wailing Arrow and the Blessed Shield as well for extra lockdown. And I think that is going to turn into a boss, if not also a keep. So this is what I was talking about. They're happy with their, they got 3 kills there because they got Naz a little bit later. So Ghost gets a few kills. They could go for a keep. They could try to get greedy on the core or something. It's late enough that with 3 dead, they could probably get 4 damage. They said, let's get what's safe. Let's get what we know gets us some advantage. And watch, when they push with this when they push with this boss, they won't bosh the push. They'll take what they can without losing anybody. They'll back off and regroup and get ready for the next objective. Whether or not it's an objective or just a map objective, a player objective, I think the self-control that ReGen Ghost has developed over the past few seasons is very evident in how they're playing this map.
Yes. I think they're not going to be greedy. They just want to get this top. Yeah, they're already leaving because they just want to go take care of the objective wave.
Right. Well, this boss still gets the keep too. Yeah.
Yeah. They already have it. They can leave.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But really good call by ReGen Phoenix, getting that turn in to push out the other lanes. That turn in might not get a whole lot, but if we look at, did I press the right button? Did I press the right button? There's the right button. If you look at how many gems they're carrying, that's 60 more gems. 61 technically. So they can get another turn in right now if they're able to get top and get that turn in without Ghost noticing. But that set of objectives clears out the other 2 lanes, and so that they can defend top. But Ghost, smelling what's up, goes ahead and rotates up. Mongoose looking for an opportunity from the bush, but the rest of the team is backed off in that bruiser camp, telling Mongoose, hey, don't go, we're not there. And Mongoose is like, you right, and drops an amp and walks out.
You're right. I'll listen to my team. Yes.
But if only other tanks we knew would do things like that. But there comes the double turn in for ReGen Phoenix, and this is absolutely their opportunity back into this map. They're down 4 structures. Their core is exposed. And but this is their opportunity to rally. They're down 20s by almost 2 entire levels. I mean, they're just over a level away from 20, but they're down by almost 2 entire levels.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that does also leave the opportunity that their kills will just count so much more if they're able to get off of Ghost.
Darian, you already ate the food. You don't need to eat the plate.
Oh, yeah. Diablo doing Diablo things. He's scouting that. He threw the stomp in there to slow them up so they can't rotate down as quickly.
The clear coming out of Ghost, though.
Wow. Yeah, that objective was cleared quicker than the first one. Even.
Yeah, I do want to point out Deckard did go all 3 gyms and perfect gyms. An old man after my heart. That's what you sound like.
Uncut gems. We need an uncut gem skin for Deckard, where he looks like Adams.
Yeah.
No?
Wait, where he looks like who?
Adam Sandler, the movie Uncut Gems.
Oh, yes.
If you haven't seen it.
Yes. I know, it's exciting. There's a turn in for ReGen Ghost, Darian. Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, here's some patience coming from Phoenix. They're not going to show until this team committed.
Yeah, do you think
look
Ghost is
at
going to move up?
yeah.
I love this, oh, it's checked by...
They sniffed it.
Yeah. Sniffed out
Yeah,
by Giggle.
But Nazebo. He starts with Nazebo.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a stasis just in time for the crunching guard.
Absolutely. Big save. There's a stay a while and listen, though. Nazebo is going to get popped. Nazebo did get a lot of stacks, though. Snuck up on those stacks. 265. So that Voodoo Ritual is going to be really strong here. Or,
wow, that's 3 for 2. I think Mongoose right now is saying worth.
Absolutely. I think he'll take that trade because they are pushing onto this keep. But with Sylvanas down, Orphea not really great into sieging into this, but with Joanna frontlining, they might get some good pressure here. 25% down, Jermaine about to fall. Curse Bullet goes out and misses. And this looks like ReGen Ghost calling for the end of the game right here. Arrow looking to try to pull him off. And that is going to be game number 1 over to ReGen Ghost.
I mean, I don't think you have the replay option, but was it Deckard that killed the Diablo there? Did you have the soundbite ready?
Deckard did have 3 kills, so as we roll into our summary.
I think he might have had the killing blow.
Nexus. Our enemies are many, but they'll never best us. If I find old Diablo, even I might take him down. You should always remember that we're in a different town. Rodrim in the house.
And Deckard, even if he didn't get the killing blow on Diablo, Deckard still absolutely being instrumental in that
we
win.
know what the music is. When there's a stay a while in the mosh pit, you got disc jockey Deckard.
Disc jockey Deckard. Isn't that right? Well,
absolutely.
We know that these 2 teams are friends, and they're definitely singing along. We got ReGen Ghost on the vocals, ReGen Phoenix on the drums. It's the Catalina Wine Fest.
The Catalina wine mixer. Yes.
Wine mixer. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, you gotta get them helicopters in there. It's the biggest helicopter season.
I don't have helicopter season, but
no, I'm going too deep cut with my. This is me like moshing
no, I
with
understand.
My big fan.
I understand. So, oh, there's the fan. There's the fan on screen. There it goes.
This is the fan of infamy. Deckard Kane. Okay.
All right, so coming in for this game summary, fairly low damage game.
Yeah.
Orvia and Sylvanas bringing it in strong, but Greymane didn't get a whole lot of opportunities didn't get a whole lot of opportunities to go off. The counter lockdown from Ghost was really strong, but still bringing in the damage. Overall, just a really, really great mechanical showing from ReGen Ghost. ReGen Phoenix, I think, had a good comp, knew what they wanted to do with it, but was just countered so hard by that double tank and Deckard saying, it's story time. All right, Shui bringing in, because I put them back in, Shui bringing in the push-up redemption. Here comes 10 push-ups for Shui.
I'm glad these
two,
I'm glad these don't apply to
3,
me. I'm just a co-caster.
4, 5,
I'll
6,
raise the roof.
7, 8,
it's much heavier.
9, 10. Shui, thank you for redeeming your fuzzy taco lips. And oh, Tyrion, yeah. Here, you want tennis ball? You want tennis ball? You tried. You haven't caught it in a while. You got to practice that, bud.
See, you're saying like it was a low damage.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I like the stat that is not apparent necessarily is whenever it's low damage, it also might just mean that everybody died so quickly.
Well, I mean, with 17 kills and both damage dealers at 40k, like, yeah, that was quick kills. That doesn't give, especially Stukov, that doesn't give him the opportunity to get those heals off that he needs. So, really, really strong map 1 for ReGen Ghost.
TBD, where we're going next.
Bonkai in the house. What's up, Bonkai? Do we want? Let's. Hang on.
Isn't he screaming against Nebula right now?
Oh, let me
that
check. Do I have you on screen? I don't have you on screen. I can change my Discord. But yes, absolutely. Let's go, ReGen. Builds are on the screen. I don't see a lobby yet, so we'll hold off on going away from this screen. Taking a look at talents. If you have questions about talents or builds, holler. Granted, I won't know for at least 30 seconds, so, you know, things and stuff.
So yeah, I left the game so I don't have the stats screen up. So I'm looking at these talents and I'm like, oh yeah, these all pretty standard, nothing crazy. You did go bullet for Greymane. It makes sense with the two double frontliners, but again, just didn't quite finish off anybody.
Yeah, Irby Hots with the Go Mongoose Go.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Chunky love for you. Catalina wine mixer, you effing casual.
Yeah, that's right. All right, let's go back to the best of 3 screen. No. Oh no, I didn't put you back on.
Sky Temple. Oh my gosh.
Ooh, let's go to Sky Temple. And just a reminder for everyone out there what this is all for. Let me find. Here we go. This is what is at stake in no Mongoose, no Rude Shui. This civil war of ReGen Phoenix versus ReGen Ghost is all about, I mean, one, ReGen bragging rights and pride and honor, but it's about best friends fighting to the bitter death to become best friends again.
You know what? You know what says best friends? Like throwing a cement mixer truck at your friend's head.
I know, right?
Saying, "I thought it was full of water."
Arrow with the hashtag "Let Mines Free." So
Mine's free, yeah. I accused them of picking Sky Temple only because Haunted Minds wasn't available.
Oh, that was you? Yep. Yeah.
That was my comment. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a you thing. Darian, what are you doing, bud? You want your tennis ball? Do you need a blanket?
I really like the expression though on Arrow's face in this Civil War picture. Like
I think it's perfect for that image.
Both of them. Yeah. He's withstanding this immense pressure that Mongoose is projecting on him.
Yeah. All right. Well, so let's go ahead and let them know that we're ready, because I don't know what other else we can BS about right now. But we are going to Sky Temple, picked by ReGen Ghost. So let's look for let's look at no one ever fighting and just going for a push. Asmodank, Nazebo, Ragnaros, Sylvanas, and Nubarak. And that's just one team.
I'm surprised with neither team knowing who May is. Like, do you know who's May? Like,
Who is May? I don't have that image readily available, but I'm gonna have to do that.
Oh, the milk carton that Val made. Yeah.
Yeah.
If Iron Man was a character in Heroes of the Storm, which character would he be?
Iron Man.
He'd just be Iron Man. You can't just apply him to somebody else.
Tassadar. Spaceship Tassadar.
Yes. Spaceship Tassadar. Yeah. Okay. I dig that. I guess he'd be a little bit more War Machine, but yes, absolutely. Oh no, War Machine would be Tychus whenever he's in his Odin. So yeah, another Kerrigan ban. We can speculate who on the side of Phoenix plays the Kerrigan, but Brightwing ban is a perfectly good ban for a big map like this with the global for Brightwing.
Yeah, Brightwing
so
is
maybe
huge.
A false god ban.
Let's see if Ghost comes in with a Nazebo ban this time. I don't think they felt the pressure last game, but and Anduin's in here like.
What are you trying to pull?
But
we went
Nazebo
from off-lane choke to healing choke.
Yeah. Well, it was a tank, wasn't it? Yeah, it was an off-lane choke. You're right. You're right. Darian, I can't throw it if you hold on to it. Oh yeah, look at that face. Look at that cute face.
No Kerrigan, no Varian. What was the third band? I'm trying to remember what the third
you
band
tried,
was
buddy.
from Ghost.
There was
I've got you, Father.
I don't remember who their last band was.
Victory for the Forsaken.
Oh, taking the Sylvanas first out. He wasn't feeling the maximum value from Nazebo. I think Nazebo's still pretty good on this map. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. Some global Falstad, ETC.
Yeah, I was told there was a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say you don't know if that's a regular tank ETC or double tank, but what are you gonna say?
Oh, ETC in the offlane would be super fun.
Well, this is where I practice ETC offlane with the stage dive. It's.
Oh yeah, it'd be so good here in Warhead, but there is no Warhead in Storm League, or I mean in Heroes in NGS. So I wish it wasn't in Heroes of the Storm. So it's not a real map.
Stitches. Interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't go Stitches last map, but Stitches Lucio. I hope there's some really good coordinated play.
Good catch,
that,
buddy.
We don't have a Lucio boop somebody out of Stitches hook or anything like that, but.
Oh yeah, or
that only happens on my team.
Jeez, have you seen that happen?
No, well, not with our team, but like in Storm League, yeah.
I've never seen you. Wait, Lucio can boop someone on a Stitches hook and then they come off the hook?
No, I meant more for like missing the hook, not.
Oh, I see. Okay, like bumping someone out of mosh pit.
Yeah, like the hook's on the way and the boop just comes in and saves the enemy by accident.
The Deckard band does come through, and Andrew picking up the Kira, super excited. So again, Andrew was healing past several seasons. Really excited to see what he can do on some damage dealers. He's comfortable in, I think, every role. So looking at ETC and Falstad with the globals, Kira and Malfurion for some decent lockdown, and into Sylvanas, Stitches, Lucio. I'm thinking mind control into the hook with the speed boost from the Lucio. Maybe, what are you showing us, Pat? Oh, the pupper?
No, I don't have a
that's the
pupper. I have a
cat.
cat. He's giving himself.
I forgot your,
I just want to
your
show
cat's
everybody
name.
my cat.
I'm sorry.
Tracer! Sorry.
What's your cat's name again?
Do you have H? Rushmore.
Rushmore, that's right.
Yeah,
I was hoping to see
he
him
won us the
Medivh.
Pet Bowl last season.
Oh, right.
Oh, Medivh would have been interesting.
I was hoping to see him Medivh here, but I think the Tracer Leoric is just as spicy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine a Lucio Tracer rundown. If the Stitches hook doesn't get you, they'll come after you. That being said, we got yet again ETC Johanna. You're going to get a lot less value for Tracer with less squishy targets, so Malfurion's going to have to make sure he just protects the Falstad and the Kira. Tracer can't get so much value.
Yeah, so running this Joe ETC double take again, I don't like it here. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it here, but it was so good. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. All right, so as we go into the loading screen, here we go again with ReGen Phoenix versus ReGen Ghost. There it is on the screen. Effectively, what's happening.
Here we go. Here we go.
I would prepare for your ceaseless.
And which team has the better mount synergy? Let me take a look here.
Well, while you're looking at the mount synergy, Darabo on the Tracer, Repsychic on the Lucio, Phantoms on Stitches, Rabid Penguin and Arrow leading the charge on Janitor Leoric. That is ReGen rising from the ashes, Phoenix. Who do we got over there on the red team?
And then I got Aaron on the Johanna, Mongoose on the ETC yet again, Giggle Schmack on the Falstad, Andrew on the Kira, or some people say Quira, and Jub on the Malfurion. That's coming out of nowhere, ReGen Ghost.
No one dying for the eye to start with. What is going on? Okay, ReGen Ghost goes up to the Vision. Darian, please stop pulling on my shirt. Maybe your mother
Kira
will take
does
you
get the
outside.
lock, but Tracer blinks away. So already aggressive Kira play. Like to see it. The only going to get value out of her is to play super aggressive. It's going to get a bit of the soak. Joe going to the top lane, going to have a face-off against Leoric. Leoric is going to be able to do a lot with the Drain Hope, so you have to watch out for that. But the other four are rotating down because Stitches is still busy with that mid lane. So
I think it's interesting
right
that
now,
we get Vengeful Roots here. Going for that tree.
Great. Yeah.
There's already a lot of lockdown, so maybe you don't need the sleep, but I think you'd rather go for the mana and the extended roots, but...
Yeah, well, if anybody's getting hooked just like that by the Stitches, you might want that extended, right?
Andrew getting pulled off the Tracer by the recall, but Falstad was low. Falstad in place to punish Tracer on that recall. First Blood going over, and it's not often you see Tracer as a First Blood, but Kira going to pay the price, being dropped so far out as the Tracer recalls, not able to get back to the team. Andrew going back to the Holosaurus to think about what he's done.
You feel shame. Hey, side of Phoenix going for their siege camp. Ghost, I guess they were thinking about it, but they decided that maybe they want to actually catch the Sylvanas. No.
Yeah, maybe
Rather
get a little
than-
bit of
Yeah,
maybe get a little bit of camp pressure after clearing the other one. But both teams going for camps kind of early, so no opportunity for steals. Sky Temple is just, it's a game of pressure. The objective is direct structure damage, so you can opt to skip the objective and go for push and get just as much value. Looks like Phoenix trying to get an invade onto Ghost, but ReGen with the cap is going to turn those siege giants red.
Absolutely.
I will say, all of the problems
yeah.
I have with this camp, the camp art is, I mean, all the problems I have with this map, the camp art's spot on.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, I think this was one of the maps that got touched up just a little bit, I think. But that was probably about 2.5 years ago. It's always looked pretty good.
Oh, you mean the last time we got a patch?
Yeah, the last time there was a budget, yeah. No, there was like Dragon Shower and Sky Temple, I think they got like some slight adjustments.
So the first objective is active. ReGen Ghost rather. Red, I just assumed Phoenix. ReGen Ghost immediately on the middle. Joanna goes up top to grab the top shrine. So ReGen Phoenix has control of, not Phoenix, Jesus. ReGen Ghost initially with control of both. Backs off in the middle, yielding it to Phoenix. Southside flies south. Gonna go ahead and get some soak and get some lane pressure. Again, that's what we're talking about with Sky Temple's objective being so strong yet simultaneously insignificant. You can do.
True. I mean,
with two temples. Okay, Pat. What are you saying?
Falstad is getting the value bottom because no one's there to stop him. That's all I was trying to say.
Yes. So when there's
like,
two temples up,
it was a better trade.
Yeah. When there's two temples up, it's almost like there's five lanes to play.
Yeah. Perfect. That's a really good good idea.
So lots of brawling on the Phoenix side of the middle temple, but no one dies. But there's a slide onto the Sylvanas, just chain stuns, but no follow-up after the ETC slide. But hook onto Kira, who's going to go into the revolving sweep and just going to ride it to completion and then grappling hook away. Nice use of the kit from Andrew. I really hope he goes booming kick though, because it's just such a fun talent. Going into the fatal wounds at 4 and upstage at, or fatal wounds at 1, upstage at 4. I don't know that he actually wants those. I think upstage was a bad choice here personally, and it's not often that I get to criticize Andrew for his gameplay. So I'm gonna enjoy it here. Because of how quickly Lucio and Tracer attack for such little damage, I think the evade here gets basically 0 value, and instead he should have gone for the healing on Q.
Yeah.
Andrew, I love you, and I appreciate everything you've done to make me better at this game.
I think it's either that or might get some out of the auto attack, but I think I'm more against the objective.
Yeah, the auto attack armor is also really good. Phoenix coming in for the invade on this camp. And Ghost kind of smelled it. There's a hook on the Falcon. It's going to barrel roll away. And I want to see Phoenix guard this camp here and either force a fight and get this fort from the camp, or at least distract Ghost enough that they get pressure off their other camp coming in the lane. But Boss does get aggroed, and Phoenix gets chased out. Tracer trying to stay alive. Not gonna happen. Lucio Boostio healing's not quite enough. Tracer's gonna fall. Both kills for ReGen Ghost on the Tracer. But Ghost was distracted enough that about a third of this this fort did go down to that siege camp. So still got the same effective value that Phoenix wanted out of that camp.
I was only going to say that if they're able to get on the objective, it's going to be the first fort that gets attacked. But right now, it looks like they might be giving this one up to try to get value with Leoric on the top and Sylvanas in the mid. She's going to use her trait to take down that well and possibly. Oh nope, never mind. Kira's coming.
Quara coming in. And that's another really good point, Pat. Is that on this map, the oh, there is the Gorge body snatched onto the ETC, but the fort goes down, so ETC might get saved by the Gust and the roots to follow. Here comes the Broccoli coming in for the auto attacks, and Mongoose is just gonna walk on out unpasteurized. So pickups for level 10 on Phoenix. March of the Black King. High five, whatever Tracer does. Wailing Arrow and Gorge for ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Ghost picking up the Mosh Pit, Twilight Dream. The Twilight Dream, not Emerald Dream, right? Yeah, Twilight Dream. Mighty Gust. Unrelenting Strikes and Falling Sword for ReGen Ghost.
See, with the double front line for Ghost, I was really hoping that Tracer would take the percentage damage for level 10, but the pulse rounds, just you get more bombs more often.
I think ReGen charge rate is just so good. But then again, I don't play Tracer, so what do I know? So with what I was saying about with this map is what you were pointing out about how that bottom one would be the first to fall if Phoenix can get control of that bottom temple, as both teams picking up their bruiser camps and Tracer skirmishing with Joanna in the top lane, is that you got to kind of pay attention to the state of the map, almost like you would on Towers of Doom, where you want to go for either want to go for the temple that will get you a structure down, or the temple that would cause you to lose a structure if the other team had it. So Ghost now granted I think it was only bot temple there, but let's say there were 2 temples up instead of just the 1 bot. Ghost still wants that bottom temple to protect that bottom fort. So
exactly.
So that's the kind of stuff that we want to see here if you're going to fight over temples. Then again, you can also just push.
Yeah, there's always the fallback plan of just push it till it hurts. Oh, yeah. Kira getting on the hook,
catch onto Lucio. That is a super dead Lucio. Falling Sword coming out, upstage. Fatal Wounds gets finished.
There it is.
One-man Mosh again. Mongoose really not afraid to burn Mosh on one hero because of how it turns the fight. And Tracer is going to dash away, but Falstad actually has some pretty good sticking power. But 2 for none for ReGen Ghost.
Wow. That Tracer was counting repairs. Meanwhile, Arrow is going to be able to take down go and grab that bottom temple. We were just talking about that. It's not going to take a lot of shots. Giggle Smack is having to deal with that siege camp first, so he's probably on his way to take out the Leo.
Yeah, absolutely. And now in that fight, Gorge and March did not get used. That fort does stay up, again, protecting that fort like we were talking about. And I pressed the wrong button there. There we go. So Ghost just really playing the macro of the map. And I am a little bit surprised to see that mosh pit when we could get something like stage dive here for the extra mobility with the Falstad. But, you know, it's working out.
Yeah, I think that was, you know, could have been a fallback plan, but meanwhile, you could just have like pressure everywhere on the map. You don't need to dive anywhere. You can stick as a team, pick off people. Always.
So ReGen Phoenix now has a lot of pressure coming into them on the top lane. Sylvanas is going to go clear that up, and with that splashy poison at level 4 from the unstable poison from the Shadow Dagger is going to make quick work of that top lane. And that's Ghost, seeing her up there, is able to get pressure either bot, make a play on boss, but they're going to take out the Leoric first, who is going to spooky walk away. Arrow not quite enough health to make it work out, and that is now a 5v3 on the boss. Mid fort almost fallen over for Ghost, bottom fort gone. They don't have a whole lot to retreat to if this gets invaded, so this gives Phoenix a little bit of an edge, and Leoric, with his trait value, is going to have an opportunity to come back in on this fight. I think he really wishes he had Entomb here at the moment, but the ReGen from big hook onto Kira. Here comes the unrelenting but silence. Huge wailing arrow coming from the Sylvanas. Big gust, completely disengaging the fight. The boss is reset, and Ghost wasted all of that advantage time that they had with Sylvanas top and Leoric dead. Great play by Phoenix, coming back into this game saying, we're not going to let you get this extra free advantage. We're going to knock over this fort. Now you only have half of top, otherwise the map is even. Now, level 16s and the talent tier are in favor of ReGen Ghost. A big fall. But the hook goes back using. That is a huge wraparound on Joanna, and then one skill from Stitches in exchange for an ult and a big trait coming out of Joanna. That is a win for ReGen Phoenix, despite nothing happening. There's a pull on Falstad. Falstad gonna take some ticking damage, gonna have to burn that barrel roll. So ReGen Ghost, while they're moving forward, still has to be a little bit cautious. They have their disengage tools. Wailing Arrow's down, so ReGen Phoenix has the ult advantage. For the most part, Falling Sword is gonna be back before Wailing Arrow. It's such a short cooldown heroic. But that was a lot of value from ReGen Phoenix in being able to mitigate ReGen Ghost pressure there.
Absolutely. Knowing that Tracer is by herself up top there, they give her enough pressure that she has to back off, and they're gonna be able to secure this top temple.
I want to see Phoenix go for boss.
Yeah, this is their chance to do it. Without the stage dive.
But it's sniffed.
But all the heroics are up. So, yeah.
It is sniffed.
I mean, the Gust is at the ready. Fallen Sword.
Right, so Vanus needs to stay off to the side to be ready to Haunting Wave in to stall the cap. But there is the hook and the silence onto Falstad. No more Gust! Come on.
No more Gust. Now they have the confidence they can take this.
Yeah.
That Gust was the thing.
There is the final strike. It's not gonna happen. Kira goes down. Tracer dashing around, trying to catch up to the Malfurion, but is going to back off. Picks up the 2 from the Tracer on the cap with the boss. Repsychic though with the banner. Great fight, well orchestrated by Phoenix. Mongoose finishing off that top temple, is not quite able to knock over that keep, but with the big wave top and that catapult coming in, Catapult gonna knock over that keep almost assuredly. But this boss could be a keep down here in the bottom lane, sort of evening up the map. Arrow goes top to clear out that top lane, so that's not going to be a keep for Ghost, but could still be a keep for Phoenix.
Yeah. And the well is definitely going to go down. It does look like, well, yeah, unless they can land a really good hook here, they're probably just going to back off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they got a pretty good value.
They got into the keep, didn't get a whole lot of damage onto it, but pulled Ghost off of any push, any advantage that they could have had.
Yeah. And
so ReGen Phoenix really putting themselves back into this game. Hey, buddy boy, do you feel better now that you're not full of shit? Hi, Sylvanas.
Alright, then both teams just securing the top pressure bruiser camps. That's a little bit advantageous. They're both a little bit, maybe a bit early because they don't have any pressure for whenever the objective comes up, but you just don't want the other team to, right?
Right. This map is about you getting structure damage and denying the other team.
Oh, Falstad with the Gust, but it does miss any valid targets.
There's a hook onto Mongoose. He's going to have to slide away. Roots go out, but Unstoppable Arrow says that I will just walk away. And there's some good siege coming out of Phoenix into this fort. They're not getting fort damage yet, but they're causing Ghost to play super defensively. And Phoenix is able to kind of take priority on this next set of temples. Ghost going straight for the top, Phoenix going for the mid. Tracer looks like gonna harass into this 5-man turtle. And I think Ghost is making the right choice here and saying we're ahead on structures. If we trade temples, we stay ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, the top lane's now left open. It could be their condition, right?
Yeah, and I think Ghost ended up actually being able to bully Phoenix down to mid because Phoenix should have gone for top if it was safe for them to, so that they don't lose that top keep and they only lose a chunk of mid keep. Instead, they lost a top keep and a big chunk of mid, and they're not getting a keep through that top or mid temple anyway. I think Arrow going to get that siege camp is a good call there. Gets that pressure back in the bot lane. Maybe getting some more push in the bot lane could have been a good trade there as well, especially with all 5 of Ghost at the top. They could have put Stitches on the temple and gone for some push, ready to pull Stitches off or go meet him once Ghost realizes that he's alone.
Yeah, so they're able to get onto the happy side of the suicide bridge. Johanna was looking for the flank, but does get caught by the Leoric.
Just a reminder, every bridge in HOTS is a murder bridge.
That's true. True, it's just whether it's a murder for me or a murder for you.
Right, but, well, no, exactly. If you're on the bridge, you're in the wrong spot. If you're... Yeah. But otherwise, yeah. There's the hook onto ETC, the body snatch is going to work. There's the move speed from the...
Look for the mosh, look for the mosh.
And there's the falling sword with the slide away, but now Joanna, Aaron off on his own, And then Kira getting dropped out as well. And Falstad goes down. Very well fought by ReGen Phoenix here. Ghost using all of their follow-up onto different heroes, and it all gets mitigated differently by Phoenix, so they're not able to actually make that follow-up happen. The Death Mosh comes out. So does the Falling Sword. And this is a quarter health bar Joanna away from a team wipe. We can look at these level 20s here. We've got improved March, improved High Five, Tracer bullshit, improved Wailing Arrow, Master Hooker for ReGen Phoenix, Death Mosh, improved Dream with the teleport, Wind Tunnel, silencing, relenting strikes, and falling sword bolts. But ReGen Phoenix is going to take us to a game number 3 here in the ReGen Civil War.
I don't see March taken often, but when I do, that level 20 is such clutch, right? Like, it was applying drain hopes and just slowing down everybody. All those big tanks going down. Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, here are the... let's look at the talents real quick as we come over to our game summary screen, brought to you by a tennis ball for Darian to play with and the candle of the stream. Oh, that's hot. I'm going to show that in a minute. But the candle of the stream, Midnight Forest. Way more damage out of the Tracer this time, and Sylvanas than both of the damage dealers from ReGen Ghost. ReGen Ghost playing a really strong game, but just edged out there at the end by ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Phoenix, I think, we're using those level 16s and 20s to come back into the game. Speaking of which, let's take a look again. So the level 20 from Leoric brings out that Drain Hope onto everybody hit. The High Five, mixing fire, dealing damage, reducing healing. Tracer does stupid stuff. Deafening Blast. I don't like the improvement on Wailing Arrow. I think she gets a lot more value out of Bolt of the Storm. But it brought some more effort into that team fight, and people in the middle are silenced for extra time. So, you know, hook cooldown reduction is just big on Stitches. And I think those level 20s brought a lot into that late game, and if you look at that last fight, and I wish I had the replay available, that map number 3. Don't say it yet. But with the way that they were able to play that fight, and then ETC gets hooked and gorged, then Malfurion drops the root, and ETC slides out. He's out, but Aaron Falling Sword's in, and now he's stuck. He has his Iron Skin still to get out, but that only lasts so long with so much damage. And then Kira jumps in and gets hooked onto the Tracer, who's able to drop her at will. And that is just, it spelled disaster for Ghost there at the end. And it's not that Ghost did anything wrong necessarily. It was just handled so well by Phoenix, and that what Ghost was doing just ended up being a little bit disjointed on it. So we're going to take a quick look at our map number 3 with game number 2 going over to ReGen Phoenix. Map number 3 is going to be Towers of Doom, picked by ReGen Phoenix. First pick over to ReGen Ghost, and not Vela telling me get on it, old man, with the push-ups. So here we go. The old man coming in.
My name is Deckard Cain, and I'm in the
1,
Nexus. Our
2,
enemies are many,
3,
but they'll never
4,
best us. If I
5,
find old Diablo,
6,
even I might
7,
take him down. You
8,
should always remember
9,
that we're in a different
10.
town. Rodrim.
Piece of cake.
There we go. Got it.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, do have the oh, see, Vel noticed it was a haircut, not a shave, or a beard trim. All right, Sylvanas, come.
Shave and a haircut, 2 pence. Okay.
Come here. Sit. Good girl. Stay. Darian, sit. Oh, this is a good down, silly, but I didn't tell you to.
Let them know that we're ready.
Almost. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Sit. Do I need a treat in my hand to make you sit? You asshole.
Yeah, I knew we had this really important cast
Darren.
today, so I had to make sure I get my hair done. Hadn't got a haircut in about a year and 6 months.
Oh, wow. It's a
was
good look,
pretty
though.
long.
I like it. All right, so we are
Yeah, this
here.
is my normal look. Yeah.
We are here in
Go ahead.
Towers of Doom. No, you're good. You're good, fam.
Showing off.
With a quick reminder that the candle of the stream is that midnight forest.
Hmm?
It does. It really smells. It smells very rugged. I'll tell you. I wish I could like send you a smell. I would probably. It would probably just be
No
a
one
fart.
should
Let's
have
not
that
lie.
power. No one. Yeah, like when we were getting our X-Men powers, you got the one that you like make people smell thing.
Okay, if you could choose a useless superpower, what would it be?
It might be that, because I could probably find a way to make that pretty useful. Because you know how like smell triggers memories. Like you can mess with people's memories through smell.
I used to ask this
Right.
question a lot when I was doing post-game interviews. If you had a superpower, what would it be, and how would you handicap it? If you had to give it like a
like, had to
legitimate
limit it?
handicap, yeah. Like
Sure.
you could travel at supersonic speed, but only at supersonic speed.
I thought the limitation would be like, but you're not invulnerable. So if you travel at supersonic speed and you like hit even like a grain of dust, like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Or you can tell.
Pardon me.
There were two that I really liked with teleporting. You could teleport, but only to gas station bathrooms, or you could teleport, but you always end up 6 feet above where you wanted to be, and that was loophole proof. So
Right.
you couldn't be like, I want to be 6 feet below the ground, and you end up
Right,
on the ground.
right.
No,
It was-
you're 6 feet above
Right.
your destination.
Exactly. I like that. That's a pretty fun one. You watched this is kind of a segue to superheroes. We should probably talk about the game too.
We will. Don't worry. Have you met us casting together?
I know this has been a while. I recall that whenever the TV show Heroes was out, the main character, he had superpowers where when he was nearby somebody else, he got to copy their superpowers.
Oh, kind of like Rogue, but without touching. No touching.
Yeah,
No
without
touching.
Without
No
touching.
touching.
Well, that's what Edward says. Edward says no touching.
So every time she every time I teleport, I break my ankle. So Savannah's Orphea ban coming up for ReGen Phoenix, and ReGen goes banning the Kerrigan variant. Picking up Vala on that first pick. ETC Anduin coming in for 2 and 3 into the Stukov and Junkrat. I think Junkrat's going to be really disruptive here. I like the Junkrat pick for Phoenix, and Phoenix picking up on the ETC Ghost double tank. On the ETC Joe
can't
double
believe
tank
it.
from
Yeah.
Ghost.
You ever seen a team draw a tank ban and they've already picked a tank
I mean,
outside of Storm League?
right?
Yeah.
Well, it depends
Yeah,
on the
I think
tank
nothing's
too,
Storm League,
right?
that's
Because
just
if it's
one.
a tank that's
That's
like
true.
Blaze or Varian, you never know.
Yeah, they could
Speaking
be
of
offlane,
Blaze,
sure.
also the ban. What was I mean, there's like the What Women Want movie where you can read minds but you can't turn it off.
Right. There's no. Yeah, you can't filter it.
Yeah. There was one that I had come up with. There was one that I come up with where it was a super useful like superpower, except there was no way to translate it into kind of like you could read any language but you couldn't tell anyone what it said, type of a thing. Kind of, but not really.
Oh. You had absolute ability to understand everything, but the inability to express it.
Yeah, basically, or yeah, or you had
there you
perfect recall except when you wanted it, except when you want that information.
I think that's everybody who's been like really drunk or high at 2 in the morning, and they come up with a really great idea.
I
then
did
the
not
next
read,
day-
but mostly because I generally don't like watching remakes. There's been a couple of remakes that I've liked, specifically I like the Jumanji remakes, not because it's
Well, they're not remakes; they're like quasi sequels.
Yeah, I think the Jumanji remake was more of a way super sequel, but
yeah, it's like a soft reboot or whatever they call it.
It's good to know that the What Men one is super cringe. I mean,
oh yeah,
say what you want about Mel Gibson, but his movies are good.
I mean, yeah.
So Kira Leoric Mirrodin to finish off the draft for ReGen Phoenix, Dahaka Deathwing to finish off for ReGen Ghost, ETC Dahaka Deathwing Globals with the anyway, we'll see you on the other side. And last look coming into game number 3 on Towers of Doom. Here is what is happening in the minds of ReGen Phoenix and ReGen Ghost. But we all know that they're truly brothers at heart, and they all love each other. And when it comes time for the ReGen wine mixer, this is what's happening.
They say they sell most of their helicopter rentals set just at that one minute.
Right. You know what? Let's swap sides here, Pat. Go ahead and give me ReGen Phoenix. Going back to the Hall of Storms.
No, I didn't know what you meant for the switch to the order. Okay, Arrow on the Leoric, Rapid Penguin on the Mirrodin, Recyclic on the Stukov, Phantoms on the Kira, and Darbao on the Junkrat.
I don't know.
Darbao?
That is your blue team ReGen Phoenix, and on ReGen Ghost trying to come back in game 3 fashion to close out the match. Mongoose on ETC, he's the captain. Andrew on the Vala, Jub bringing it in on the Anduini.
What are you trying to pull?
Aaron on the Dahaka, and Giggle Schmack bringing down the Schmackdown on Diablo. Not Diablo, who is that? That's Deathwing. And so that, after not knowing who's who, is ReGen Ghost. And speaking of the true terror of the skies, I think Deathwing's favorite Brightwing line.
I like happy things like puppies and rainbows and dead enemies.
Kira coming in with the revolving sweep on the ETC, keeping him trapped in that Stukov silence, but Junkrat going to knock him out over the wall. Here comes the leap of faith from the Anduin.
What are you trying to pull?
And that is going to be a saved Cal. I should have played that Got You Father, even though it wasn't variant, but you know. Speaking of which, while both teams are getting their siege camps, let's get a hot take from Anduin on his trait.
Why did the priesthood call it a leap of faith? No one leaps, and it certainly doesn't require faith. I've always thought life would be more accurate.
And ReGen Phoenix trying to come in onto the Deathwing to push it onto this camp, but Deathwing keeping them off. It'd be a really dangerous invade, and Ghost taking the camp. Dahaka and Leoric on opposite sides of their double soaking, just kind of waving at each other and passing and going for the soak. Look at Leoric's pathing though. Through the bus.
Yeah, I saw that
until he saw Dahaka show. I think that's really smart map play.
Yeah. Took the enhanced agility. Bushtalker's movement speed bonus now lasts 5 seconds.
Level
after,
1s
so
and 4s
he basically
are on the screen.
Yeah, if he passed it right, his double soaking is not interruptible basically.
Oh, for Dahaka?
Yeah, for the Dahaka.
You know what? That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But I thought Leoric, the way he pathed as well, was good. Looking for that Dahaka until he showed up on the screen. But with Deathwing in that mid lane for a little bit, 4v3 in the bot lane, Ghost not able to push up. First set of altars are coming up. Looks like the Deathwing might try to help out Dahaka on the top side, and Ghost has fairly well established this bottom objective, this altar that ReGen Phoenix is nowhere near. They're going to try to make it down, but they're not going to make it in time to interrupt this chant. Yes, they are.
They definitely are.
Yeah, with Vala by herself. Aragonis, thank you for the raid. Hope it was a good match. The Dark Wolf in NGS. Aragonis on the ReGen Storm Division ReGen team. Bringing it in from casting. I hope you had a great cast. Welcome to Game 3 of the ReGen Civil War. ReGen Ghost versus ReGen Phoenix. tied up. Game number 3 on Towers of Comebacks.
Towers of Comebacks. Just a general early game rotations from both teams. Meriden is ready and waiting just to see if anybody's going to come up to get the start on this camp. Sappers. But no, they're going to work on getting their own. Meanwhile, Leoric might get caught out here. Team didn't call him missing.
Yeah, spooky walk away. Rabid Penguin with the jump. Great save onto Arrow. Vala chasing in on Leoric. Leoric running to his team. And so Mirrodin jumping over that wall with the zoning Stormbolt. Gonna land, actually. So not quite a zoning Stormbolt, but let's be real. And interrupts the Vala pass.
Oh, body blocked by ETC, so he's not going to get out of there.
Deathwing going to go into a dramatic death animation with that Cataclysm. That's really what it looks like, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Very dramatic soccer dive from Deathwing.
Right? Oh, where's the red card? Where's the red card? Oh, he...
Come on, man. As soon as we're not looking, then Deathwing will get back up like nothing happened.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see, there he is. Takes to the skies like he never got hurt at all. What a foam. But he is able to get to the skies and start dropping down stall onto this. But Phantoms, I think? Yeah, Phantoms.
Yep. So there is the channel for ReGen Phoenix. That's going to extend their lead here on Towers of Doom. Real quick, while we're in transition, again, go give Aragonus, the Dark Wolf, a follow on the Twitch. I don't have a shout-out command set up, but he is a really smart dude, really high-level player. Lots of good things to learn from him, especially when he's casting. So, and again, thanks for the raid there. 36 to 28, level 9, very even XP here. Let's pull the XP up on the screen between ReGen Phoenix and ReGen Ghost. And Pat, for what it's worth, I did talk to both teams about doing a ReGen only cast and never saying Ghost or Phoenix. And while it's a fun idea, we decided not to.
The greater good, yeah.
I don't know if it's the greater good, but the immediate replay value.
Yeah, that's true.
A big revolving sweep onto the ETC. ETC gonna slide away. He's gonna get bopped around by the Junkrat and the Kira. Gonna get Leap of Faith by the Anduin. Here comes a Deathwing flying in with that Cataclysm. Going to just put fire everywhere because, you know, all shall burn. And here comes the ReGen Ghost Siege into this bottom lane. This bottom lane, absolutely the most important place on the map for almost the entire game. Unless the score is 4-12 and you have control of 2 altars or 2 towers and 2 altars are up and they're making a boss fight. But otherwise, the bottom lane, the most important place.
And then the counter kill on the Kira, but it's not over yet. Arrow is able to get a drain onto that Anduin.
Big shove onto Haka! Yeah, so with those level 10s out, that is a trade on both teams. Altars are up. Vala looks like she's going to grab this middle altar uncontested. No, she does get stopped. Here comes Lyric with the drain. Hope it's going to follow one up. Shree's going to make me do sit-ups.
And there goes a Meriden. Doesn't know how to dance a little with his tiny dwarven legs.
Yeah, we'll call out these level 10s here in just a second. Anduin getting interrupted by the Junkrat. The strength of Junkrat is so evident here. But Anduin still gets the channel anyway, but that stall power from Junkrat is big. There is the Entomb, a silence Entomb because of the Stukov already. And the final strikeout onto EDC, but he's going to get Leapt of Faith again. And just walk on out. Anduin just all over saving ETC, almost as if. And that is, that's going to be ReGen Ghost getting out safe.
Anybody in chat can tell me the name of the Tauren chieftain that taught Anduin how to be a shaman, or how to be a paladin. That would be really useful, because that'd be the equivalent of his cow daddy.
And so Light Bomb goes out. Lots of fighting over this objective. It does, or over this camp. It does get stolen by the Leoric there, and Vala's gonna fall, but so is Leoric and Stukov, but Muradin as well. The final strike not gonna get a whole lot of damage. Giggleshrek looking a little bit low, but that's the only one on ReGen Ghost. That's gonna be a 3-for-1 for ReGen Ghost. Even though they lost their camp, they're gonna go in and invade the other siege camp. Also, help me remember the sit-ups and push-ups that I owe people. I guess my wife redeemed, so she won't let me forget.
Oh, that's true. Oh, and then the Centum is just saved for Deathwing. Is he gonna get out? Oh, the stun from the Dahaka saves the Deathwing just in time.
Yeah, sorry, I missed it because the dogs have moved on from playing with the tennis ball to playing with my dress shoes.
Fight still. Oh, yeah. So they managed to hold on to their own Sapper camp. Deathwing takes to the sky to regenerate his health.
Yeah, and everyone will be here for this ultra phase. Double ultras. Dahaka's grabbing some soak in the top lane. Level 13's up for ReGen Ghost. They have a slight advantage here. That Gloom on Vala is going to be big here. Aragon, what is wrong with you? Oh, man. Everyone making me do push-ups and sit-ups. I should not have put those back into the point rewards. Sapper's going to walk into this bottom fort, interrupt on the channel from Kira. She's going to move in. Looks like Dahaka, Stukov, and Junkrat fighting over the bottom altar. It's going to get delayed. The Junkrat coming in with the Riptide, going to kill the Anduin. The Deathwing landing, but Kira staying on top of Mongoose as Mongoose walks into his bottom tower to stay alive. And Andrew as well on the Vala trying to stay alive. Just an all-out incessant battle between these two teams, but Stukov and Leoric are gonna end up getting these channels because of how zoned out ReGen Ghost is, but not before this, or not until, yeah, not in. They didn't stall long enough.
The tower.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
There's a lot to say. A lot happened in there. I was camera jumping around like crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to show the valid parts, but it's all happening all over the place. So
it does look like yeah, they're gonna, while they're stuck at the border there, they're gonna be taking the
this is a good camp pickup for ReGen Phoenix. ReGen Ghost wants to try to move in, and the drop from Deathwing is a little bit late. And
the Dahaka push is a little bit late too. But the stun from the light bomb, are they able to get this? Stukov does get away.
Oh, an interesting mosh pit from the ETC. Not probably what Mongoose wanted to do. And Muradin jumping out. Deathwing going to Cataclysm after the Muradin. No escape from the Muradin. Here comes the stun out of the World Breaker. What is that? Earthshaker from the World Breaker? I don't remember what it's called. And and so best case scenario for Ghost, right? Worst case for Phoenix. Ghost gets this altar back, or this tower back. They take all 3 altars. They tie up the game. Phoenix is up by 12 points here. They need to play careful. They can't give up too many things as long as they make decent. They don't even have to be advantageous. They just need to be decent trades. They hold on to the game here. I think Dahaka and Leoric are going to trade altars, but Dahaka has to make it down in time. Anyone's headed up to meet Dahaka. Dahaka's going to go zone and instead try to push off the Leoric. Leoric gets the channel in time, but here comes the drag. Vala and EDC are going to come in. Is that going to be enough follow-up? Leoric looking a little bit low. EDC, Vala chasing. No! So that's going to be 2 altars for 1 for ReGen Phoenix, and they have a tower advantage. So that's 10 for 3 on the exchange, and Leo Arrow with the not even close. Because they are all friends here, as much as they are battling it to the death. They're all friends. Hopefully they all stay friends. They're all friends until the game's over.
Until the game's over, yeah. Well, they started as friends, at least. We can say that.
Yeah.
Muradin with the jump onto the Vala.
Nice Riptire behind the ETC. Here comes the breath from the Deathwing. And these sappers trying to come in. Ghost really needs to get rid of those. But there's nothing else up other than the boss. They may want to get the boss off soon, but Giggleschmick trapped in the Entomb, and the Drain Hope is big on Deathwing. EDC trapped by the Junkrat and the Muradin, and this looks like it might be 3 Sappers pushed in to make it 29-7, and that is going to be huge for ReGen Phoenix. They need to run to boss and make a play now. They're up 5v3. They're going to go for the Sapper camp instead.
Yeah, yeah, because if they get this Sapper camp through,
and I think they do.
One, right?
This is game-ending territory for ReGen Phoenix. They're coming in for this reverse sweep. This huge dive onto Vala, and I think that's
Killed
it.
Mid-air. Yeah. These Sappers walk in and capture either one of these. Dahaka can't stall both. That's it.
So there's 3. Dahaka's going to go here. Deathwing's going to have to make it over onto the Muradin Junkrat. I think Mongoose really want to stage dive right now, and I don't think that they can interrupt this. ETC's try.
Nope,
oh no, the
that's
Skyfall, and that's gonna be game number 3 over to ReGen Phoenix. GG's to ReGen Phoenix. Well fought from both teams. The the Civil War has ended here on Towers of Doom as we come into the game summary screen. Wow, that was a. I thought Ghost. I mean, I thought Ghost could take it the whole way. I thought they'd be able to come back. I'm trying to find the tennis ball that the puppies have lost. But in just great control and patience from ReGen Phoenix. Let me see if I can message Arrow. Oh man. I'm trying to put the interview request in spoiler blocker.
Yes.
And and he has messaged me. Arrow has messaged me. ReGen Lobby 1. So Pat, I will see you there in just a second. And it looks like the whole team. But before we get started talking on that interview, just a quick look at these stats. Really a much closer spread in the damage between the two teams. This game looked so much closer than the first two did, as well as the overall play. It looked like even though the discrepancy in core points got huge there at the end, I feel like ReGen Ghost was just as into the game as they were at the start. And here, talents are on the screen for everybody. We are here in the lobby with the entirety of ReGen Phoenix, the victors of the ReGen Civil War. And apparently I owe 20 push-ups and 20 sit-ups to the chat. I'll knock those out after the interview. But congratulations to ReGen Phoenix on this Civil War victory. How are you doing, guys?
Well, Team Captain America wins. I mean, what else can you say about that?
Right? Yeah, continuity matters. Yes.
Yeah. No, it was really great.
Yeah,
Listen, this was a fantastic match. I was really looking forward to playing against Ghost because, you know, we know them. We've known them for a long time. So I think we ran into them in a Storm League game a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, oh, this is the precursor to the Civil War, and
who won that
a lot of fun. It was. We did.
Oh,
I think it actually was on Towers of Doom. We had a kind of a reverse setup. I think we actually had a Deathwing comp against them on I think it was no, it wasn't Towers. Never mind. Wherever it was, we had a similar comp to what they had here.
I gotcha. So as we're going, let's just kind of go a little bit chronologically, and if I may be bold here, Game 1 they kind of kicked your ass, which was surprising to me. From y'all came down from Div A, and they've been in Div B a while, and so I thought y'all, I thought y'all would win overall, but it looked like y'all really struggled into what they brought into you in Game 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. It looked like there was, it looked like the double tank and the CC lockdown just kind of threw you guys off. Can you tell me about kind of what y'all thought about their draft going in, and how y'all recovered coming into the rest of the set, because you recovered fantastically. Game 2 was so dominant from you guys, and this Game 3 looked so good as well. And like I said, ReGen Ghost looked like they were on par with you in Game 3. But focusing on that game one, just kind of what adjustments you were making and what you thought of the draft as we go through the rest of it. I just kind of what were you guys thinking? What were y'all feeling about it going in?
Penguin, why don't you talk about the draft there?
Sure. So game one draft, I think, was just a rough tank matchup. Diablo can have a hard time into ETC when ETC plays well, and then they had a lot of follow-up slows between the Orphea and the Deckard. So like once Diablo went in, he was kind of stuck there, and we didn't have a good way to help him out a whole lot. And I think that really hampered our rotations, which on Tomb, obviously are really important. So kind of slid behind in the early game, and then it was just really hard to sort of claw out of that initial hole that we were in, I think.
Yeah, and that's I mean, pretty. I think that summarizes it really well. Did the double tank throw you off guard? And I forget if y'all had an opportunity to make an adjustment off of that. I think the Johanna was the very last pick of the draft.
Johanna was definitely the last pick, and it was unusual. It's something we've discussed in the past of having a double soak offlane like Johanna and going with that. So it wasn't like completely out of left field. But it was definitely not something we were necessarily expecting at that moment. And I honestly, I think we might have even been a little bit more shocked that they took it again in game two, just because of the map and the value of that macro. And to kind of cover the second half of your earlier question, the main thing is that game one was, it was a frustrating game because Mongoose was really good about keeping us away with face melt and all that. I don't think I landed in isolation. I don't even know that I landed more than 1 or 2 tongues that game. And we just kind of revisited it and said, listen, we got to play our game and revisit our initial strategy and do it, because we didn't really do it well in game one.
Yeah, I think looking at game two, not dwelling on game one too long, I think looking at game two, and I'm going to let me real quick, I'm going to show talents here again for a quick second before I go look at that draft again. Looking at that game two, they took a very similar comp into it. They had the ETC Johanna again, and I think the way that y'all adjusted to it and were able to kind of separate them, especially with that Stitches. Especially at the end there, if you go back and watch the cast, kind of the breakdown that it looked like is you get the pick on Mongoose, and then things are done to rescue him. Multiple things at the same time. Not any one of those things was bad, but together it was disjointed and disrupted by a recall and some zoning, so that Joanna's on her own, and then Kira's on her own, and there's no more rescues, and you just kind of roll the fight into the end of the game from there. And I think that was a really good adjustment. You said you were surprised by that double tank from being picked up again in game two. Was the separation with the Stitches and stuff kind of in Lucio, Boostio, like was that the plan in case they came at you with the similar kind of thing, or what were the adjustments made?
I think I think the biggest thing is that we're gonna play a more macro game on a very macro focused map.
Yeah.
Penguin, you can certainly add anything to that, but I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think we were just looking for something that was macro oriented and then had some cohesion to it. So like the Stitches Junkrat is a good, or not, we didn't end up taking Junkrat, but the Stitches is a good tank for that with like the wave clear and whatnot, and then having the Sylve option and then Leo kind of covering the off soak just really helped us free up some time to be able to roam around and take advantage of some of those opportunities.
And our communication was much better, and that's second game and third game. Like there were a lot of like isolated picks in game one, which their comp did really well with, and we didn't really have a lot of that in game number 2 or game number 3.
Sorry, I'm redirecting to the draft. I have so many layers of folders that I'm now showing everybody. So I thought the Tracer pick there in game 2 was also really interesting, and I thought the Sylvanas steal was good given the nature of the map. So talking about going with some more macro, the Sylvanas really represents that Leoric and Lucio's ability to get around the map is there. Was there any accounting for the possibility of ETC going stage dive, the Falstad flying? Were you concerned that you might get out macroed? And if so, like what was your plan to gain control over that macro?
I think the easy answer to that question is no.
There you go. Fantastic. I shit on my rank all the time, but being in gold instead of kind of at the level that you guys are playing in Div E instead of Div A and Div B, like, to me, seeing those globals, or at least the possibility of multiple globals, spells disaster for macro. So could you explain to me why you weren't concerned about it?
I mean, they had ETC Johanna, so their wave clear was a little bit lower. They were looking more for kind of what they had in that first game with the Kira and all that, trying to be able to find somebody, get them killed, and make pressure happen from that. So we were thinking more, even in game one, we were thinking more that they were looking at a Johanna engage or a Johanna holding on to Falling Sword to support the mosh pit. So it was really more about the team fight, and that was the first thing that we said at the beginning of this is we need to focus on the macro as opposed to doing the team fight.
And it worked out really well. It looked very even throughout the game until that last fight just kind of was the decision maker. Which is one of the things that's really cool about Heroes of the Storm is that you're always in it until the core is down. Regardless of if you've been behind, you can pull out that fight, but especially in an even game like that, being able to see a fight executed that way, punishing the mistakes or near mistakes, turning them into mistakes, was really cool to see. Pat, we've gone through 2 games. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm here for the banter and to learn from Arrow, and I'm getting both those.
Well, Arrow is
You've
definitely
selected the wrong person to learn from.
Oh, who should we be learning from then?
Me, I'm an actual god at this game, as you can tell. I've decided that the best course of action in that first game was to walk into every spider, a blast of the enemy teams, and get myself killed. This is what we call, reverse psychology, which is really what helped us in the later 2 games.
Well,
make them think I'm terrible. Yeah.
Well, actually, so speaking of which, you are probably the ReGen resident healing expert. Particularly Lucio.
Seems like a stretch.
Well, Arrow. I'm trying to be nice now. Particularly Lucio. Lucio, from what I recall, is kind of your bread and butter, your main squeeze, your go-to. And you only got Lucio 1 game, and I don't think they banned him. So about those healer choices. I mean, the Stukov Leoric just makes sense, but was there less desire for Lucio this set?
It's not so much that it was less desire, so much as it was we just thought Stukov fit the bills for all the check marks for what we wanted tonight. It's like you said, Leoric he just works well with everything, whereas with Lucio, it's kind of like a little more specific. Like, we really wanted him on Sky Temple for number 1 rotations and just keeping the whole map kind of making it feel a lot smaller. And I think that worked out very nicely. It was nice to have the high 5 against things like Johanna's Falling Sword, which granted they drafted that after I picked it, but there was, I just recall one engage she had on the bottom lane that just wound up getting negated because I high-fived 2 people underneath it, and then the fight turned around. Not that I'm saying I turned the fight around, but it certainly helped with team fights.
Fantastic. That was the other thing. The lockdown from Deckard even was and I thought, I mean, with the stay a while listen, I think Stukov can really come in handy there too. I think Stukov was the right choice for both of those games that you took him. And Lucio, we even talked about Lucio being nice mobility on Sky Temple. So Arrow or anybody else, since we do have the whole team here, if y'all have any other comments on game 1 or 2 before we move to game 3, would love to hear them.
I would like to hear from Phantoms on how much he hates Stitches.
I do not. Yeah,
I don't hate Stitches.
He's
just a waste of space.
I said after game 1 that I don't really want to go into them with anything with double tank stuns, so I was like, I'll just pull them onto us, and hopefully that'll be better. That way they have to use their movement to get into the fight instead of waiting for me to go in.
Yeah, Stitches is really awkward to play. I feel like he doesn't really fill the tank role specifically. He is, other than the idea of creating the fights, because it's not like he's able to really peel for his team. He can't really shape the battlefield unless he gets that hook and pulls someone out. So I feel like you have to really work at Stitches being that tank role hero. Otherwise, he's just such an awkward hero. He's such an awkward hero, and also none of the skins that make him desirable to play are allowed in NGS.
I do want to say though, with that you know what you kind of just described, like Phantoms does a really good job of communicating. You know, I'm looking for a hook, and I want it right here. And you may have seen a couple of times, you know, some skill shots that were missed because, like, we're expecting that hero to land right there, and when they don't, then okay, we're walking away. So it's, you know, yeah, Stitches definitely changes the way that you play. But if you can communicate effectively to your team, he can be real rough for the enemies.
Yeah, and while we have Phantoms talking, real quick, if I may get a little bit selfish here, I learned how to tank mainly from Mongoose, with a little bit of help from some other people in the NGS community. But that's where, like, coming into NGS as more than just a caster and being on a roster, Mongoose taught me my tanking. I was the sub for him on ReGen Ghost a few seasons ago, and I noticed, mainly because of that opportunity, he spent a lot of time in the bush. He spent a lot of time looking out for you guys and engaging on you or disrupting you from out of sight. Phantoms, as that opposing tank, how, like, what's that experience tanking into? And I'm not saying anything about, like, your mechanics or your ability to tank. Honestly, I wasn't looking at it, right? Because I was looking at Mongoose's tanking as far as the tank matchup goes. But what is that like playing into? How do you play into someone who is taking control of those, we'll call them tanking points, tanking spots, and how would you counter that and handle that?
Well, game 1 Diablo didn't go so well. I tried to W into whatever bushes I could.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was off cooldown, which it was, maybe right near the end, or he got like a 3-man mosh, whatever, you know, it just happens. So we're pretty conscious of checking bushes. Just game 1 was kind of breaking down on all fronts, and
sure,
kind of forgot to do that.
One of the things that I've noticed about Diablo in particular, especially into ETC, and I always point out that the devil, the Lord of Terror, the ruler of hell itself, headbutting a cow, loses to the cow sliding at him. Like, what? How does the cow not even... Like, I think Diablo loses every single stun-to-stun matchup, or CC to CC matchup, in the game, other than a full-range Q into Mosh Pit. He never gets to land it, even, like he hits Mei and the slide goes off, right, and bumps Diablo back. Like, there's not a single spot where Diablo gets that advantage when he's queuing. And I think that's just maybe how skills have been layered or something. But I think maybe when you play Diablo, you ever notice those times where you press Q and it ends up on cooldown without you moving?
Yeah.
I feel like, and maybe it might be too much of a buff to Diablo because of how strong he is in general, but maybe like a quarter second, just 0.25 second of unstoppable when he presses Q would be enough to make him feel like he's a tank you can play into any counterplay whatsoever. So thank you. I appreciate it. I know it's sometimes it's hard to explain playing into another tank, especially when the matchup isn't easy on the first one. And y'all did a great job. Again, Stitches game 2. Stitches is, it's hard to call him a tank. But and then the game 3 counterplay with I already forgot. Muradin, right. I loved some of those Muradin plays. Speaking of game 3, going into game 3, Muradin over the wall to protect Arrow, who's getting the crap ganked out of him. Nice stun on Davala there. Mongoose on ETC all 3 games. I mean, that's his favorite hero. But I think the way you zoned, the way you played, ended up being really strong, bringing a lot of saves and pulling particularly ETC out of position a lot, forcing them to use cooldowns in a way that made them not able to fight. So speaking of game 3, I think that takes us back to Phantoms for the draft, right?
Penguin
for the draft.
Did you have a specific question about the draft or just in general? It was a draft.
Yes. If you want a specific question, would you tell me about the draft?
Sure. Let me look at what our draft was, because I already forgot.
I would only just say that the Leoric Deathwing counter was just, it was hard to watch because it was so good.
That was so there were a couple of things that I was thinking about when we were doing the draft, and Penguin wanted Leoric, I think, either way. And I was still kind of looking at what our other potential options might be. We've played some other double soaking heroes there, so there were certainly other options. But I had noticed they had played Deathwing, we had played Deathwing into them, and our draft wasn't particularly Deathwing and anti-Deathwing, so it just made a lot of sense that that Leoric would come into that, and I was pretty happy that I had him when they pulled him up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Leoric. So a lot of people like to ban Malthael and Tychus into Leoric, or into Deathwing and Cho'Gall, right? But Leoric with the Drain Hope, I feel like he's just such a more reliable, such a stronger counter to the Deathwing and the Cho'Gall. I think they're both in the same conversation. But yeah, I like that Leoric pick. I thought it was a really strong pick. He's really good at that double soak on Towers of Doom as well, and you kept up. And I liked when on your rotations you were checking across the boss pit. Even though Dahaki can teleport, you can't do it between every wave. So being able to look for those interruptions, opportunities to be distracting, and then you were there when your team needed you, despite not having the global. Game 3 started out in your favor. It looked even as far as fights went throughout. There were some fights where Ghost got ahead. There were fights where you got ahead. Just kind of who's shot calling these?
Depends on the map and yeah, exactly. Like who's tanking. The first couple of games, Phantoms was calling a lot of things. Penguin called a lot for game 3, and in some circumstances, it's obviously, who's our engage. And so like in game 2, there were some circumstances that it was Phantoms calling for hooks. I was calling for, like at that last one, when we were pulling back, I was calling for that I was going to death march into them because they were coming into us. But in game number 3, I think 2 or 3 of those big group fights, I was calling specifically, I'm looking for Deathwing so that I can lock him down. Did he have Cataclysm? So on a macro level, we're definitely speaking constantly, and it just depends on who's got the potential engage in game 3 there.
Yeah, and the way my team does it, and that it may be partly because we're a new team, I don't know, but we have our shot caller, and then our tank is driving fights, because the tank is hopefully shaping the battlefield, knows who the focus should be, whether or not the tank is on the focus or zoning or whatever, but is able to call out how the fights should go. So when I'm talking about shot calling, I'm talking about that overall macro map play, etc. Yeah, so if with everybody contributing, that's a good thing. You want to get that information. What was kind of the driving force, like the main factor that kind of carried y'all through that game 3? It's a weird question. I know it's not very specific at all.
I think we have a general we have a pretty good handle on towers, and for seasons and seasons and seasons, going all the way back to when Phoenix was first formed, and he's no longer here with us. God rest his soul. Just kidding. Mudge was playing a gray main, and we lost a game because we were doing the math, and there was a question of do we go do X? Well, no, we need you to go, and it was 10 seconds too late, and we lost the game for it. And ever since then, it's a math problem. How do we get enough points to win this game? Because points are all that ultimately matter if we can get them. And I think that's
Go ahead.
What?
No, go
yeah,
ahead.
and I think that's critical to how we play this map. Is can we get that bottom fort? Can we defend it? Can we keep the camps going out? What's the timer on the next objective? Are they on the boss? Like, we're always looking at those things, and even that one play, like they on the triple altar, the second one, trying to come up and stall out, we're quite literally a split second away, but it's that split second, maybe a split second of hesitation, that makes or breaks whether they get one altar or two in that circumstance. And we don't tend to have a lot of hesitation when it comes to towers.
Yeah, I kind of like what you're saying. Like, it's a game of points, and you got to figure them out. ReGen Rebel. We had an interesting interaction last week where we were in position to win if we just capped the altars, but we knew that boss won it for the other team, and so we were so focused on stopping the boss play that we didn't stop to think that, hey, we have enough points that if we cap these altars while they're bossing, we win anyway. And it's one of those things that we'll never forget, and I think it helps put, like, having a loss like that, like you're talking about, where you do the numbers wrong, it really kind of shapes this map for you and redefines how you look at it. And so I'm glad to see, I'm glad it was picked for game number 3 in the Civil War, because it is Towers of Comebacks. It is the best game 3 map in the game. And 2, I'm glad that it wasn't taken just kind of as a meme, but also because you have that history on it, and you have that ability to play it the way you did. So with that, Pat, if you have any more questions on the games themselves, or if any of you team members for Phoenix have anything else you want to point out about any of the 3 games or the match itself before we get to my follow-up unrelated question and then shout-outs, this is that opportunity.
I've got one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to hear from Derry in great specific detail about the Junkrat play, because I feel like the Junkrat in Towers brings so much value, and I'd like to know how he accomplishes that.
I pressed Q and then I pressed R.
Well, I mean, it doesn't get much clearer than that.
Right. Well, that's what we were talking about also in the cast, is that Junkrat has so much delay potential. And we saw some times where maybe the boops were, or as I call them, the Junkrats, were a little bit out, maybe excessive, maybe not quite optimal, because allowing for opportunities for people to get away. But overall, the Junkrat is just so good at the disruption, and we saw it. We saw the stalls. There were several times where I thought caps were just going to happen, and then they didn't. But if there's any
Are you talking about the disruption that delivers Avala right into a nearly dead Leoric? Is that the kind of disruption you're talking about?
Or like when a Garrosh throws a Diva Bomb onto his nearly dead teammates? Yeah.
All right, I think we're good, unless you have anything else.
No, I think I'm tapped.
All right, so quick game that I'm going to make Pat be involved in. We were talking about superhero powers earlier, and I haven't asked fun interview questions in a while. So everybody that's willing to participate, I want you to tell me your desired superpower, and then Pat will handicap it.
Probably teleportation.
I mean, the one that we had in the chat was you can teleport wherever you are, but whenever you choose your destination, you'll always arrive 6 feet above it. So
And that one's
That's
loophole
fine.
proof. That one's loophole proof, so you can't be like 6 feet below where you actually want and then be where you want. Whatever your actual destination is, you end up 6
It's
feet
relative
above.
location.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, your delta Y is plus.
Penguin, you got one?
I'm gonna have to go with invisibility.
It turns on and off whenever you sneeze.
Whenever you what?
Whenever you
Sneeze?
sneeze. I was gonna go with, but you smell really bad, but that's good. That's funny. Phantoms?
The ability to leave this interview.
All right.
Oh no.
Yeah, just sneeze into the microphone.
That's okay.
Sneeze into the microphone,
That's
and then you'll leave.
That's okay. You don't have to play Phantoms. It's fine. Darabo?
Super speed.
Super speed.
Oh, what did you say before? I think you said.
But only
yeah,
super speed.
Super speed. You can only be at super speed. Yeah, you can never slow down.
Yeah, you're either not moving or you're at super speed. Arrow.
Wow. I'd have to go with like shapeshifting.
To be like me, gotcha.
Okay, you can shapeshift, but you can never return to a shape you've shifted.
Ooh.
I think I'm okay with that.
That's
pretty nice.
Pat, that's
Let's take
mean.
that.
See, I was thinking you can shapeshift, but you don't get to choose. Like, you can choose to shapeshift, but you don't get to choose what it is.
Right.
It's just always a circle.
I would have thought for the teleportation one that you would have gone with something like you can teleport, but you can't teleport with anything, which means that you just show up naked everywhere without your
No,
Apple
because
Watch.
that's just a buff. What are you talking about?
No,
Well,
that's
I mean, it's only a
Rex,
it's
that's
only a
in
buff
the
if you work out before you do it.
That is
yeah.
in the buff.
Yeah.
So Arrow,
And you always land like Schwarzenegger in Terminator, where you're like crouched down. Yeah.
So the other teleportation one I like is, but only to gas station bathrooms. All right, so real quick, let's go. Because Murdad's complaining at me. Let's go for your shoutouts, everybody. Arrow, you can drive. You can drive order.
I'll make it super simple. Shout out to ReGen Ghost. You guys are awesome. We appreciate the games tonight. Always enjoy playing with you guys. And then for ReGen Phoenix and of course the rest of the ReGen organization, Murda out in chat. Shout out to my boy
Murdad.
And of course to Red who was not able to join us for. So I think I've got some friends that were showing up tonight. So if there, a special shout out to you.
All right. Who's next, Arrow?
Anybody that wants to go.
I mean, I was just going to shout out God, more commonly referred to as Murda, for making this all possible and being my father. And it's, and of course, ReGen Ghost, more accurately, like on a more serious note. They were a blast to play against, so good on them.
Same. Shout out to ReGen Ghost, and then shout out to you guys for casting. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I love the casting.
My shout out, if nobody wanted it, is a shout out to Groovy and Rhythm bots who are officially dead. So no more music spamming in Discord. That's just for you talking.
I mean, I've had music going this whole time on the underside. But thanks, Pat. Yeah, Groovy Bot can be interesting. Anybody else before we wrap this up, friends?
These other two are pretty quiet, so I think we're probably good.
Well, I appreciate the participation that everybody had. Thank you for bringing the whole team. This was definitely a fun experience and very apt for this ReGen Civil War. Congratulations, ReGen Phoenix, on reigning victorious, and I'm looking forward, hopefully, to a rematch in the playoffs.
Hashtag fourth place.
Fourth place. I just watched that yesterday and this morning. I definitely split my time across it because I had to go to bed and wasn't sure if I had work tomorrow. But my power came back on 90 minutes before the cast, so that was fun. So I'm glad we were able to make this work. Again, congratulations to to ReGen Phoenix. Arrow, I still need to know if your 10 are push-ups or sit-ups.
Split them.
Split them. Oof. All
Thanks,
right.
guys.
So 25 and 45. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. And congratulations. Pat, I will call you back.
Yeah, no.
Do I have you? Do I have you?
I'm here.
Give me
I'm
a
here.
cam. Give me that. There it is. Oh, you transitioned. You changed the cam. I
went
like
to
it.
the comfy seat.
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good look. That's a good look, Pat. I like it. That's like if we actually ever make our podcast happen, which I think we just did round 1 of.
Yeah, it's
well,
basically the same
I'm
format,
not used
yeah.
to a 5-person interview though. It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the puppy cam here. We got the Civil War for the background. Pat, go ahead. Tell us about yourself. Give us your monologue while I knock out these jazzercises. I believe it's 25 and 45 that I owe the community.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I got a couple seconds to do that. You know, I play some random characters with ReGen Rebel. I'll retweet just about anything. If I had to choose a superpower, it would probably be Susan Storm's ability to create like force fields. So I'm curious.
But
what you
only
would
around
say
your
to that.
enemies.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, what's the definition of around? Because if you look at space, I can invert it, so it would work either way. So loopholes. Bam. But yeah, that's about it.
For those of y'all
Postman
watching,
Pat?
I just banged my head on the wall. Okay, so they can only protect your enemies. Let me put it that way.
Well, then if I'm protecting them, then they're no longer my enemy. Like, do you know what I mean?
Maybe.
If I'm protecting them, if you use the word, I can only surround them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're doing. I was just trying to negotiate out of it. Postman Pat on Discord, on Twitter, on Twitch, if I ever get around to actually streaming, which happens now and then. But yeah, that's it. That's it for me. Are you done yet?
I'm at 30 and 10. So I'm doing the next 10 sit-ups. Why do I have this as a thing?
Why? Yeah. I think there should be some kind of capping system. Or maybe it's like if you have a poll for who do you think will win, and it's based off of who wins, right? Then those people can bet to use their points on your push-ups. I think that could work.
I think if I put a cap on it, it might work out. But
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm trying to make it.
But the whole idea is for me to get back in shape. So like, who cares?
As I said to people, I am already in shape. I just happen to be in a beach volleyball shape. But you know,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's A shape. Yeah.
Would you mind looking to see who's doing NGS stuff on the Twitch?
Oh yeah. Okay, let me just.
All right, last 15 push-ups.
We have Sit and Saves is passing Phoenix Rising Emphas versus Lower Expectations, and Liquid Metal versus Private Potato by BJ and Company. So I would vote for Sit and Saves because they've casted us before.
You know what? That's fair. Have they?
Sit and Saves casted us last season.
Or
maybe it was. Or that might have been. Maybe that was Nexomania. I know they've casted us before.
Oh, I can't. Jeez, it's the last 5, and I'm struggling so much. Such terrible form.
He's good.
All right. 25 sit-ups, 45 push-ups. Thank you, everybody, for your fuzzy taco lips. I did take like 3 naps because the power was out. Thank you for the support. We will go find a raid. Real quick, just a reminder that this is what everybody ends up as in the ReGen network, singing together as friends. Uptown Girl written on your drums. But we did get to see this epic battle between ReGen Ghost and ReGen Phoenix. As I'm pulling up this raid, just want to remind everybody you can find... God damn it, Aragon! What is wrong with you? That's not the right button. That's us in full screen. Here it is. All right, can I? Oh, real quick before Murdad leaves, that's my shout out is to Murdad. So as I'm finishing this up with 10 more push-ups, there is I'm Taco. 1. You can find me at twitch.tv/eltaquito. That's 3. You can find me on Twitter. That's 5. At the Lil Taco. 7, 8, 9, 10. And Twitter at ReGen Hots for more ReGen related things. I will tweet when I'm casting, when I'm playing, when I'm streaming, and the ReGen channel will tweet ReGen things like this matchup, like ReGen streams at times, if those are made known, and ReGen matches that are getting streamed, if those of us that tweet that were more onto the calendar. Big shout out to ReGen Rebel and the team. Big shout out to Murdad and ReGen Ghost and ReGen Phoenix for an excellent 3-game set. Pat, thank you so much for being here. And
hey.
big holler at Bonkai, who had some schedule issues today. But he was going to be here. He wasn't able to make it, but Bonkai, real big ReGen streamer as well. Go give him a follow. Go give Pat a follow, even if he doesn't stream. It'll make him feel good, and we want Pat to feel good so he can be protest Pat. And with that, I am going to find... Why can't I find the stream? Oh, because... Is that it? Let me... Yeah. I gotta open up another... Is this muted? No, yeah. There. Okay.
Yeah, they're both Div E games, but they're both West Coast.
Oh, okay, sweet. You said who is Satan Saves? Yeah,
it's Phoenix Rising Amethyst, who we've played before, and Lowered Expectation.
Okay, those are some fun teams. All right, so with that, we're going to bid you good night, Pat. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and good night, my friend.
Very good.
Gotsky looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is at 25%.
Back down Yo on the Grey Man, gonna be the first to fall. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthael up there. A triple.
Leyline used in the back, catching 3 people on top. That followed up by the APOC and the lurking on. Catching 2, but this time on is gonna be the first.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead. Catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop. Mosh pit goes out. Ruben's still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not gonna matter.
Here comes the Boros on the backside.